Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on when you are tuning in. My name is Jonathan Torres-Herrera, and you are watching or listening to the JTH show. Today, let's talk about if COVID is up our butts. And will zombies be a problem in 2021? But first, roll the intro. All right. Thank you for coming back and watching one of our episodes. We really appreciate it. And remember, you can watch this episode and any episode on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or Radio Public. In addition, if you want to, you can hit the like button below, the subscription button, the ring notification, and the join button. That's right. We were recently awarded the join button by the YouTube gods, which is a great thing for us because that means we are going places here with this show, right, Josh?
Hell yeah. Well, with the title of today's show, yeah, it certainly looks like we're going places. What those places are, I don't know yet.
It might be dark and smelly. So you know what we mean by that is a story that we first saw it. Now it feels like I'm seeing it everywhere, but I first saw it on an article over at the Daily Star. Titled, China rolls out new, ready? A swab.
What the fuck?
To curb COVID outbreak in Beijing. I don't know if Nod's going to have to mute that word there. I don't know if we're going to get hit by the algorithm. But this is not satire. I really looked at it. I was like, is this a joke? Is this like one of those onion pieces? No, it's actually a very real thing. It also added that the rapid invasive test inserts a swab 2 to 3 centimeters into the rectum and rotates it several times. It currently is being used in Beijing to curb, right in there, to curb the spread of new COVID outbreaks. So it added that now, in addition, this comes, by the way, after a small local outbreak in the country led by China shutting off many of its northern cities. And now it's rolling out mass testing projects with a twist. Yeah, I'd say. I'd say. Yeah, I mean, you know, I think there's going to be some people that are going to find this a little surprising. You know, I don't know how we're going to do these, by the way. You know how in the States, at least here, we're doing a test where you go and it's like you stay in your car and it's like, all right, you know, you kind of stick your head out a little bit out the window, or maybe the guy, you know, or nurse, you know, lady sticks her hand in there and it's just like, all right in your nose and it's out, right? Now it's like, well, as you're forming in the line, please remember that we're going to need you to stick your butt out the window real quick and 2 to 3 centimeters. I'm not gonna be. I'm not gonna say it's a lot, but it's a lot.
Right. I mean, yeah. I think everyone, when they said like 2 to 3 centimeters or an inch, everyone went like,
You're gonna like,
everyone had like kind of reaction.
Yeah. You know, I like the details too. You know that they're saying like it not only has to be inserted, but has to be rotated in there just a little bit. You know, and it's a lot like the tests I think they do right on the nozzle anyways, right? Where when they stick it, you know, down your nose rather, and it just kind of like, I've seen it goes down and I've seen, you know, maybe a little bit of juggling and then comes out, right? I don't know, man. I mean, this is going to be interesting. Leave it to China, by the way, to also include like, you know, instructions, you know. There's an image, I'm sure Nod's gonna throw it up, where it says that I guess, I don't know if you can do this yourself, you know, and just like you open this up and it's like step 1, split them open. Like, all right, I only have 2 hands, so what's gonna happen, you know? It's gonna be like, hey Josh, I'm gonna take a COVID test, man. I'm gonna need your help this weekend for that test, you know what I mean? Again? Yeah. Again, dude? We just did it last week. Yeah, I mean, I was exposed, dude. I was exposed again, man.
Where's that music coming from? Like, don't worry, don't worry.
Turn on the lights. Yeah, turn on the lights. We're gonna put some candles. We're gonna make a whole evening out of this COVID test. It's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be fun, Josh. Don't worry about it. It's gonna be fun. I do, you do me, I do you, kind of thing.
In the name of science.
In the name of science, that's right. In the name of science, man. Come on, be serious about this, dude. It's for COVID. For F's sake. It's really interesting. Again, this article has a couple images. The stick here they're showing looks a lot like the stick that you would use, again, when it's inserted down the nose or whatnot. But yeah, we found it just interesting. And so you guys know that next time you guys walk into the doctor's office, it might not be like, oh, okay, well, you sit down and, you get your nose ready. And the doctor's like, I need you to turn around, please. And you're like, I'm sorry, I'm here for COVID. What are we doing here? I know you're here for COVID. Everybody's here for COVID. We need you to turn around. Yeah, so it's very interesting. Is this going to be rolled out, worldwide? I don't know. I guess it depends, right? On supply and demand. Yeah.
I guess we'll just have to wait and see. I know that we're like joking around a lot, but imagine that if this is actually like this is the key. This is the key.
The whole time, huh? The whole time we're going down the wrong hole.
Exactly. It was you just went north instead of south, you know what I mean?
Yeah. The whole time it was easy to solve this just by going down going in rather the other
exactly. Going in through the outdoor.
Yeah, there you go. Going out the outdoor. So, and with that, let's move on to something else that is also not satire, even though we also thought it was. And that is an article coming out at the riotfest.com titled, "Warning, Zombie Deer Disease Could Spread to Humans Soon." I know. No way. Come on. That's what I said. But listen, just hold on for a second, okay? According to this article, experts at the Center for Disease Control are warning hunters and other outdoor enthusiasts that a fatal zombie-like disease outbreak that is infecting deer, elk, and moose has the possibility of spreading to humans. The zombie disease, at least what they're calling it, is actually known by a different name, right? CWD, which stands for chronic wasting disease. Now, again, I don't know how true to the science this is, but it is interesting, right? That yet again, another animal is dealing with something that it's like potentially dangerous to us, right? Now, let's be honest. If 2 years ago, somebody would have told us like, hey, if you eat something out in the wild, you can potentially cause a global pandemic. I would argue that there have been people throughout history that would call BS on that and would say, dude, people eat, game or whatever they call it all the time, right? It's just what it is. People eat possums, and people have been known to eat rabbit. I mean, all kinds of animals, right? In the hunting game sport or activity, whatever you want to call it. And you would have never thought that we would have caused a global pandemic from eating, other animals other than traditional, when it comes to like pig and meat or whatever, right? From the cow and then chicken. But in this particular case, yet again, there is allegedly, the science is saying that there is a zombie type disease that could potentially affect us. Now, the article here plays a little bit, around with what really they mean by zombie. Okay, so this is what they're saying right now. All right, it is spread in deer, elk, and moose through bodily fluids like feces, saliva, blood, or urine, and produces symptoms such as drastic weight loss, stumbling, lack of coordination, listlessness, I don't know what the hell that is, drooling, excessive thirst, urination, droopy ears, lack of fear of people, aggression, and aggression. Right? They played a little bit wrong with this, and they said, and desire to eat human flesh. Obviously, they're joking with that last one. They said, as said in the article. But it is interesting, right? Because we've had situations where I'm not sure if you're familiar with it, Josh, but for a while here in the States, we had a big problem with bath salts. Now, I'm not sure if it's still currently a problem, but the issue was that people were getting high somehow. I don't know how, right? I don't know how that works. I don't know if they snort it, inject it. I don't know how, right? Smoke it. But they were using bath salts, and that was creating like this crazy type of behavior in people. In fact, there was that one incident in Florida where a guy ate another guy's face off.
Yeah. I mean, where else but in Florida? I mean, that's like the classic thing, right? Florida man caught doing something, caught doing something ridiculous. But yeah, as far as bath salts go, I think it's basically one of these manufactured drugs rather than like let's say marijuana or cocaine, which actually comes from plants. This is actually which is a synthetic drug, I believe. Someone comment below if this is true or not, but I'm pretty sure that that's true. There's actually a synthetic drug which can be smoked, snorted, or injected, I believe. So you have a variety. You have a variety of ways you can ingest that drug. I don't think you should, but yeah, if you wanted to know, there it is. But yeah, it's good to know that if there are zombies, they're gonna be the slow type of zombies. I don't want any kind of like 28 days style zombies.
Oh hell no! Yeah. No, absolutely not. That is terrifying.
It looks like we have some. Yeah, it looks like we have some more Walking Dead style zombies, which is okay. It's like, how many times have you actually thought, like, what would I do in that situation? It's
all the time.
Okay, we need to know what type of zombies.
Yeah, no, all the time. All the time, dude. All the time.
Exactly. So
what would you do, by the way?
Oof. Well, that's a good question. Well, first thing would be check that my girlfriend's okay.
Sure.
Make sure everything's all right. Find some kind of meeting place, and I guess it'd be pretty much like following what they did in The Walking Dead. Just go out into the countryside first of all.
Right.
Try and find somewhere that has, and try and pick up supplies on the way and all that kind of thing. Stay in a group. But yeah, just try and find somewhere that's remote, not too remote, but still remote, and just pick up as many supplies on the way as possible. Anywhere that, well, luckily living here in Mexico, there's a lot of places that you can actually probably grow crops and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
I'll tell you what I do.
But
first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab a couple of those Chinese COVID new tests, just to make sure. Just to make sure, I'm first gonna grab some of those, for science, and then once I get my hands on those, then I'm gonna grab my family, and then I'm gonna go out into the country, like you said, whatever that means, right here in the States, essentially away from major cities, and make sure that I just stay out of sight, out of mind, and I think that would include not only or that applies rather not only for humans, but I think it applies for zombies, right? I mean, if you're not within sight, right? I don't see why they would go after you unless they somehow are zombies with like elevated I don't know what you might say smelling abilities, right? Heightened smelling. Right. I mean, that's a different situation, but if it's kind of like one of those Walking Dead kind of situations where as long as you're out of sight, you're out of mind for everyone, that's kind of what I would do. It's just isolate myself, but not before I grab some of those Chinese COVID tests for sure. That's for sure.
Cool. I mean, it sounds like you got the priorities there. That's
I do. Absolutely. I guess the gun as well. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, the gun, sure.
Oh, yeah.
Sure. But not before the test. Exactly. It's funny to see all these stories sometimes because, like I said, many times we don't realize, right, how close we are to some kind of natural disaster until it kind of smacks us right in the face. And then we're locked down with masks, and fighting each other, which, by the way, brings me to a quick article that I want to reference from Forbes saying COVID, wake up call. Doomsday Clock remains closer to apocalypse than ever before. And I'm sorry I had to use that voice, but that's how I read it in my head. The article adds that the Doomsday Clock will remain set to 100 seconds to midnight in 2021. Now, to be fair, if you don't know about the Doomsday Clock, which I didn't either until I started reading into this, I've heard about it before, but I really wanted to know, what do they mean by that? So it started sometime back in the 40s, right? And it was after people started really messing with nuclear bombs. And it was set initially to 7 minutes or something like that. It was moved to 3 minutes. And every year, it's just getting closer to midnight. And midnight, by the way, indicates doomsday. And we're pretty damn close right now, closer than ever, 100 seconds. And it's not really measured that I can find, by the way, down below, leave in the comments if you know exactly what the time between midnight in the minutes or seconds really indicates in time in terms of real time. I couldn't find anything. It's just an approximation. It's not actual minutes or seconds that I saw, right? So with that said, it does indicate, at least it tells people, generally speaking, what some scientists and analysts out there in the world predict that will get us closer to that, whatever that doomsday, day might be. And I guess it's assessed every January, every year. And then it just kind of like placed wherever these bulletin of the atomic scientists, whatever they determine. And it's funny because, we're looking at all these stories, right? And then this one comes across, our research, and it's like, oh, okay, cool. So zombies, right? And China's new test for whatever reason, because they don't have enough with the one that goes on your nose. And then new variants of COVID. And it's like, oh, look at that. Forbes is saying we are damn pretty close to doomsday. Now, all joking aside, I don't think so. Yes, part of me, I don't want to believe so, that we're any closer than we were ever to doomsday. The article, by the way, on Forbes, if you guys want to go check it out, does, highlight different things as to why allegedly we're closer to doomsday. Things like the issues between the U.S. and pretty much just countless countries around the world, right? You can immediately point out the U.S. and Russia. Well, okay, but then we have the U.S. and North Korea, the U.S. and China, right? Among other countries, right, that the U.S. has issues with. Of course, we have the pandemic that we're dealing with right now, which is not over, right? Not by a long shot. And that is my opinion. And I think it's substantiated by the fact that does it feel like it's over? Does it feel? I mean, politically, maybe. Depending on the governor you ask. If you ask Newsom, all of a sudden, now that he's reopening California, as soon as Biden got elected, now it's like, it's over. But I don't really realistically think it is. I think, unfortunately, we're stuck in this situation, at least for the foreseeable future. And that can mean the next several months or even the next couple of years, in my opinion. But, yeah, I mean, check it out. You guys can assess whether you think it's BS or not. The zombie one for sure. I don't know how serious it is. It says that it has a potential to spread to humans. It's not saying that it is spreading to humans. And as far as like the China story, this is definitely real and it's happening at least in China right now. It doesn't say that it's something that they're applying or practicing here in the U.S. But yeah, those are the few stories we found for today.
Yeah, and just looking at the Doomsday Clock, I was just having a quick look at the history of it, and the closest in the history of, since it has been going since the 40s, like you said, the last time that it was really close was in 1953, and that must have been during the Cold War, obviously, and that was when it was only at 2 minutes to midnight, so that's still another 20 seconds up on what we have it now.
Yeah.
Again, in 1953, I don't think we had the type of communication, obviously, that we have now.
Right.
So America is now able to piss off the world using a mobile phone.
Yeah, right. Using Twitter and Facebook, and I mean, God,
Exactly.
I mean, I gotta say real quick before we leave, I don't believe that a president, right, like we saw Trump do, should utilize Twitter to the extent that guy did, to communicate like people that were going to be fired or hired or plans that he had or whatever. I don't know that he ever leaked anything classified, but I just don't feel, I mean, if you want to send out the occasional tweet, which I think many presidents do, or at least the official account, I'm not saying it is the actual person. Sure. Right. Once in a while. Sure. But the freaking like supposedly midnight or later tweets that Trump was doing, it's insane, right? For any political leader, by the way, and this is my opinion of any leader, not just here in the U.S. But can you imagine like AMLO freaking tweeting at 3 o'clock in the morning, dude? Like, or anybody, the queen, the prime minister of freaking any country, pretty much. It's insane, in my opinion, right? It's how much are you really using your brain if you're tweeting at that hour, and specifically for those or for that limited amount of characters, right? It's like shit, dude. But yeah, it's insane. But yeah, I think I think that's it. You got anything else?
I think just a little bit of a tag on talking about that Twitter one is in more recent news. I think we spoke about him in a couple of videos. The My Pillow guy, the CEO,
Yeah.
who lost all his business, he's now been banned from Twitter as well. So there you go.
Damn. That Twitter. I mean, well, we talked about it, right? That Twitter wasn't the end. Like they said very publicly, right? And I guess they're delivering on that promise. It's like, we're not done censoring individuals, right? So watch out, guys.
Yeah.
Watch out. Watch, I'm gonna finish this video and our Twitter account's gonna be shut down. Oh no.
Tweet responsibly, guys.
Tweet responsibly, guys. That's right. Yeah. Here's the Twitter. That's what I'm gonna tell my daughter when she turns 18. Here's your cell phone. You tweet responsibly. Okay. Drinking, whatever. Have as much as you want, but your Twitter, watch out for that.
Exactly.
All right. Cool. That's it. We're good. Well, I appreciate you guys watching as always. And don't forget to like, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and join the community, join the channel. We really appreciate it. And until next time, see ya. Hey, thanks for watching the JTH show. Remember, you can catch all the episodes, full episodes, on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or Radio Public. You can also visit www.thejthshow.com to catch episodes there and to catch anything that we had to blur out because of YouTube or any other platform. We usually put all of our raw information in there that is uncensored. You can also become a member at www.thejthshow.com to catch all the special perks. Thanks for watching.